Next is attendance. You will be expected to participate throughout each week of class. If an emergency occurs and you are unable to participate in class for a week or more, please contact me as soon as possible or have someone contact me. We may be able to make some accommodations in certain circumstances. So of course, this is at least a little bit at your own pace throughout each week. There are due dates that certain things are going to be required to be turned in by, but of course you don't have to be on the computer at a certain time each day of the week or anything like that. So if you are sick, then you should have some leeway. However, or if there's some other type of emergency. If it comes to a point where there is such an emergency where you will be unavailable for an entire week or more, please do contact me or have somebody contact me if you're unable to, so that I know what's going on and so that we can talk about and perhaps make some different accommodations. All right, so we're going to move into grading. So first, kind of our generalized grading statement. Grades are based on points earned from lecture notes, homework / in-class assignments, quizzes, lab assignments, and exams. With the exception of exams, each of these items will be present in each of the 15 weeks of regular class. Grades will be posted on Canvas throughout the semester. Final grades are determined by the percentage of points you earn out of the total number of possible points throughout the semester. Grades will not be curved, and I do not intend to offer extra credit, so commit yourself to striving for excellence in this class throughout the semester. Grades will remain as a dash in the gradebook until I have graded the assignment. I will post grades as soon as possible. Corrections will be written on the assignment itself and or in the comment section of the assignment on Canvas, depending on the feedback required. You are responsible for keeping track of your scores and confirming that they are correct. You are encouraged to check your score after each exam. And then I have an asterisk down here. Any disagreements with any of your scores must be brought to my attention within 1 week of the scores being posted. After that time, scores will not be adjusted. All right, so as we are moving through the semester, as I mentioned here, and we're going to go through each of the different types of assignments for the entire class, but out of these assignments, with the exception of exams, you'll see each of these types of assignments throughout the 15 weeks of regular class. Grades will continuously be posted on Canvas. So the percentage of points that you earn, and at the end of the syllabus, there's a breakdown for A minus, B plus, things like that. But in Canvas, fortunately, in the grades section, it will show you how many points you have out of the total points for the course so far, and then your percentage, so you'll know where you're at with your grade. I do not curve grades, and I do not intend to offer any sort of extra credit assignment. So make sure that you are doing the best that you can throughout the entire semester. As noted in the gradebook, grades remain as a dash. So you don't need to ask me, did you get this assignment or have you graded this assignment or anything like that. If you go into your gradebook, you can click on that assignment and you can see if you have submitted something or if something was submitted. So you'll know that it was submitted because you can see that it has been submitted on the assignment. And I do recommend, and I'll say this later as well, but I do recommend that you go in and that you double check and triple check that the assignment that you have intended to upload has actually uploaded. So sometimes internet can get dropped and it stops uploading. Sometimes a website can go down and it stops uploading. So you always want to make sure that when you're uploading an assignment that you close out of everything, wait a minute, open everything back up again, and make sure that that assignment, that attachment is there. Once you have submitted an assignment, or even if you haven't, grades for that assignment after the due date will remain as a dash until I grade them. So it won't be until you see something like a 0 if you didn't do it, or a particular score, that you'll know that I have graded the assignment. And at that point, I do recommend that you go in and that you take a look at the assignment or the comments. A lot of times, particularly on lecture notes assignments, I don't make any comments because it's pretty self-explanatory. You've done a good job or you haven't done it at all. And then you have the particular score that you have. But if there is some variation in points, oftentimes I'll go in and I'll write on the assignment and or write in the comments section. So you can take a look at either of those. So if you see that you did get something that's less than 100%, then you want to make sure that you go in and check and see why it is that you got less than that 100%. And you can see that in the comment section, but then also click on the assignment and see what I've actually written on the assignment. I do mention that I will post grades as soon as possible. That just really depends on my schedule. Sometimes it's going to be an every other week situation where I'll be grading assignments. Sometimes when that assignment comes due, I happen to have a chunk of time and I'll try to jump on it right away. So it really does depend, but I strive to get things graded every other week at the latest. So please allow at least a week, week and a half for the assignments to be graded. It just depends on scheduling and other assignments for other classes and things like that. So I do get to it as soon as I possibly can, though. And then this last little piece of that, any disagreements with any of your scores must be brought to my attention within 1 week of the scores being posted. So if it takes me a week and a half before I get to grading something, then you should be checking your grade regularly in Canvas anyway. And when you notice that there's a grade there, if you go in and you say, it looks like I got everything right, and yet this score is not correct, then you can contact me at that time. But it needs to be within a week of that being posted. What that means is that I'm not setting us up for at the end of the semester, if you're a couple of points away from getting a higher score, that you can go back through the entire semester and start picking through each assignment saying, hey, you missed a half a point here, or things like that. So within 1 week, we can take a look at it and we can adjust scores if necessary.